I'm Italian Gamer Joe, and you were watching the top 10 ways Nancy Drew Ransom of the 7 Ships could have been better. Number 10. An AllNew Story. What made Nancy Drew Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon and Nancy Drew Trail of the Twister so great is that Nancy was invited to join a team of experts to track down an elusive treasure. Why couldn't Nancy Drew Ransom of the 7 Ships be something similar? Imagine Nancy getting the opportunity from Krollmeister to get invited to join an amazing cast of treasure hunting characters. Imagine Nancy getting the opportunity to go on a huge vacation like this in the Caribbean. Imagine how much fun it would have been to go on a tropical yacht cruise on the Caribbean with a bunch of treasure hunters and get the opportunity to do something amazing. Nathan Drake Uncharted style, Lara Croft Tomb Raider style, cave exploring, treasure finding, pirates, explosions, all that and more for a Nancy Drew game. Instead, we just got Bess, George, and Johnny Roll stranded on an island. I digress. Number 9. An archipelago instead of one island. In Nancy Drew Ransom of the 7 Ships, we are limited to exploring just Dread Isle, which is an eco-friendly island with several pocket locations that are very short and very easy to get to via a golf cart. In my idea, imagine instead of one island, we get an archipelago of islands to explore. I bet you're wondering, well, how will Nancy get the opportunity to explore all these islands? Look no further, Italian Gamer Joe has the solution. Nancy has her very own yacht. Sponsored by Krollmeister, Nancy gets the opportunity to join a group of treasure hunters and explore all of these islands from their very own yacht. Nancy can get the opportunity to explore the surroundings both on these islands and on the boat as she relaxes in the beautiful lounge area, goes swimming after a long day of treasure hunting, exploring lots and corridors, and getting the opportunity to explore suspect rooms, and even sit on the captain's seat and pilot and chart areas to new islands that she may or may not find the treasure. And most importantly, have a nice, relaxing stay. Number 8. More pirates! Arr! Imagine Nancy getting the opportunity to go to a mainland island where she can speak to and hang out with all kinds of pirates. Nancy can sing sea shanties, she can play cards, and most importantly, she can share some grog while having a great time together. Imagine if Cuckoo was here as well. Imagine Nancy getting the opportunity to just hang out here and have a good time, hanging out with pirates that may even know the location or whereabouts of El Toro's treasure. Number 7. Treasure hunting drama? Perhaps one of the treasure hunters could be working for a different company and causing accidents. They could be sabotaging different parts of the yacht or figuring out ways to steer Nancy in the wrong direction. This could even cause uncertainty among the crew aboard the yacht and cause arguments or fights to erupt. A character could be kicked off the yacht. Nancy could even make a choice of who she trusts more. Nancy herself can even get into trouble. Number 6. A day and night toggle system. If there's one thing that Nancy Drew Deadly Device did right, it was the day and night toggle system and how it gave players the opportunity to talk to different characters and even explore their surroundings in different ways. I believe that Nancy having the ability to freely change her time of day would be great in Ransom of the 7 Ships. It would allow for new character interactions, allow Nancy to solve time-sensitive puzzles, and much, much more. It also creates atmosphere and a world in the game. Number 5. A new suspect roster. Imagine if this game had a giant suspect roster to interact with and hang out with and even figure out together where the treasure is and maybe even have a betrayal. Starting with the leader, A woman whose passion for discovery is great. She's tough, fierce, and determined to find the treasure. The Fossil Hunter. A guy who's here for the island's fossils. He can't wait to discover more. The Medic. A woman who Nancy can go to if she gets hurt. She's smart and resourceful and tags along with the leader. The Sponsor. Krollmeister's sponsor for the mission. He's supplying his yacht for the fun of it all and excited to help in any way he can. The Pirates. Nancy meets them on one of the islands. They know vast information about the archipelago and can steer Nancy in the right direction. Finally, Bess and George, Nancy's phone friends. Nancy can get hints from both of them throughout the case. Number 4. A randomized culprit? For the first time ever, a randomized culprit will appear depending on minor choices made throughout the game. The culprit showdown would have to be filmed or created for how many suspects in the game that there are, and we won't know who the culprit is until the end of the game. While each culprit showdown ends exactly the same, a system like this would encourage people to go back into the game, replay it, and figure out the culprit that they would get next in order to find all the endings. Number 3. Side quests. More treasure hunting. Imagine if Nancy can go to the captain's quarters on the yacht, explore the digital map system, and react to pulsating red blips on the map. If Nancy travels to these locations, she can play a mini-game where she can actually go underwater with a claw system and find all kinds of hidden treasures, something similar to what you'd see in maybe Club Penguin. A minigame like this would be really fun and give Nancy the opportunity to take her mind off of finding a treasure in search of even more treasure. I think something like this would be a lot of fun and give players the opportunity to spend even more time on this game while also solving the mystery. Number 2. An interrogation system. For the first time ever, Nancy Drew would incorporate an all-new interrogation system. In order to get new dialogue from characters or find out new evidence, Nancy would have to use this system. In order to use this system, Nancy would use the conversation system that we've all known throughout the games. However, there would be options that Nancy would work with. For example, in this scenario, Nancy is interrogating George. George is saying, "I saw Bess 2 hours ago. She said she was going to the beach. I sat here relaxing. I started getting nervous when Bess didn't come back." As you can see here, we've ended the interrogation for the number of things that George can say. So we have no choice but to go previous and see what lines of dialogue seemed more suspicious. "We don't think I sat here relaxing. Suspicious." We'll go previous again. "She said she was going to the beach. This sounds suspicious. Nancy is going to present evidence." Nancy thinks that Bess's handwritten note contradicts George saying that Bess went to the beach, because the note says it's a note from Bess to George. Bess mentions that she's going to the monkey research facility. We are going to go ahead and present this evidence, which will cause the screen to shatter or cause some crazy thing. Nancy's going to shout at her friend and say, "No, that's wrong." And you know what's going to happen? A conversation will ensue. According to this handwritten note, Bess was going to the monkey research facility. George replies, "The what? No, that's not possible. She said she was going to the beach." New conversation unlocked. As you can see here, Nancy gets the opportunity now to unlock a brand new conversation that will allow her to progress the story. Finally, number 1, more food. If there's one thing that Nancy Drew games do amazing with, it's giving us delicious looking food. There are so many Nancy Drew games that offer all kinds of food, from candy bars to burgers to sausage to turkey to just everything. Imagine how cool it would be if Nancy can get the opportunity to explore a buffet of tropical options all throughout her exploring and treasure finding and much more. This could easily be one of the most educational and awesome Nancy Drew games, all because of the one thing we all love the most: food. You are watching Italian Gamer Joe, and thank you for checking out my top 10 ways Nancy Drew Ransom of the 7 Ships could have been even better.